Welcome, Farida. Beverly, greetings. Selena, hi. Sarah, welcome. I know you are welcome. Thank you, ladies.
No one else but you. Bonani, no trouble, no one else but you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Luigi, my queen. Someone like me, you gave up your life for me, yeah. You even go on and call me your very own. I'm so grateful for your love. No one can do the things you do for me. Yeah, there's no one else like you.
Cindy, welcome. Thank you.
Never thought that you could love someone like me. You gave up your life for me. Yeah. You even go on and call me your very own. I'm so grateful for your love. No one can do the things you do for me. Yeah. There's no one else but you. No one else but you.
Enjoy the song. You know how we do it here.
No one else but you. Where would I be if not for your love? Instead of the life I was lost, but now I am found.
Blue is for the boys, Cindy. You got it. Blue is for the boys. I love that Cindy found the quote. Blue is for the boys. Blue. The cat is coming where we all move. So get ready.
No one else but you. Chacha mukobani tamobo, bananiye, bananiye.
Move with me.
Chacha mukobani tamobo, bananiye, bananiye. Chacha mukobani tamobo.
That's how we do it.
Chacha mukobani tamobo, bananiye, bananiye. 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 Chacha mukobani tamobo, bananiye, bananiye.
Go.
Moko 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 bani tamobo, moko 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 bani tamobo. Moko 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 bani tamobo, moko 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 moko. No one else but you. Oh, Nadia, no one Nadia. Oh, no.
Let's give it up for Joe Metal. Joe Metal in the house. Wow. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for joining. You do me the honors every Thursday, and I am so humbled and so blessed that I get to be with you on another Thursday evening. I hope that your day has gone well and your week has gone well, and prepare for a miracle. For Oloro Agbaye is working this year. It looks like he is not, but he is. And like Cindy said, let me introduce yourself. I'm here for the boys today. My name is Raina Speaks. The color is blue, and we want our sons to be different. Welcome. Father, take control of today's talk and let it be to your glory in Jesus' name. Welcome everybody, and God bless you for coming. So last week we spoke about how can my daughter be different? And this week, of course, we cannot do the daughters without doing the sons. So this week we are going on to the sons. We have learned how we can make our daughter different. Let's also talk about how we can make our sons different. Now, don't forget, everything we spoke about last week is applicable to the boys. The boys get to do everything we said on the other side for the girls, but then the boys have peculiar things as well that we could add to that one to make them different. Remember, as always, like I said last week, you want your daughter to be different, it means that you must be different. Same way you want your son to be different means that you must be different. Now, a son's greatest mentor is his father. In the case where the fathers are not possible, you need to get somebody else, and we shall be talking about that. Welcome once again. Barbara, welcome. Yes, Barbara. Barbara is my bead designer, so yes. Welcome, Sarah. Great to have you here today. Now, boys will be boys. It's always it's cliche now. Everybody talks about boys will be boys. It's normal for a boy to have a dirty room. It's normal for a boy not to want to bath. No, it's not normal. And that's why we want our sons to be different. They may have traits of boys, but it doesn't mean that they must be boys through and through. So those things that take it up a notch, I mean, not a good notch, by the way, the bad notch is we need to nip it in the bud and keep those good ones that will make them stand out and be different. Dr. Akasia, welcome. So let's go right in. Now, the first one, remember those who just joined, I said, I'm repeating for the benefit of those who just joined that whatever we said last week concerning the girls is applicable to the boys, but there are a few peculiarities that we want to be addressing this evening for the boys. Let's go right ahead. You know how we do it at Raina Speaks. We just move right ahead and get the job done. Now, number one is that respect is admirable. Respect for women is applaudable. Last week we said that respect through and through is admirable. So both your boy child and your girl child should have respect for whoever they come across. But for the boy, respect for women is applaudable. In some of our societies, men are not required to be respectful to women and can get away with almost anything that they do to a woman. But we must teach the young men, the boys, the young adults we have who are male with us that it is very important for them to respect women. If they say they respect their mothers, then they must transfer that same respect to whichever woman who they meet that is deserving of that respect. Welcome. Oh, okay. Brenda is here. Welcome. Paul Bafo Adansi, welcome as well. So, respect for women is applaudable. And therefore, anytime your son does something respectful to a young lady, to a woman, to his sister, he must be applauded. He must be applauded. it's the same for the ladies. Like, remember I said that today we are addressing the peculiarities. And like I said earlier on, there are some societies where a man can do anything to a woman and get away with it. And that is what we are trying to, is it eradicate or change? I think let's use the word change rather. Daniel Woodingba, welcome. So once he does something respectful, for example, you're going somewhere with him and normally he would rush and get in the car regardless of whether his sister is with him or not, if he has a sister. But this day, he decided to open the door for his sister to sit in the car. It's applaudable. Immediately, no matter where it is you are, you must give him his applause. You must acknowledge that you have seen the respect that he showed to whichever female it is that he showed it to. Janet Edupoko, welcome. Do you see? Let's say that quite recently, my daughter wasn't feeling too well, and my son volunteered to wash the dishes and help her out, and I blew it up, you know, because that would normally not be the norm, if you know what I mean. It would normally not be the norm. But the fact that he volunteered to do it was very applaudable, and I let him know. And I let his sister know when she was trying to make it look like, hey, you are not doing that. And no, no. When you were not feeling well, he volunteered to do this, and it was good. So anytime your son does something of respect towards a woman, his sister, his aunt, his mother, let us applaud them and encourage them to go ahead. But respect generally must be done across, whether it is female or male that they are relating to. I hope my point is clear. The next point is, don't encourage egoism and machoism. Mabel and Alberta Men, welcome. Don't encourage egoism and machoism. What do I mean? Those are just words I coined. I know that machoism exists. It's egoism that I am not sure about. But English is a dynamic language. You can be adding your own so that the point is well understood. Abi, so I'm sure you know where I'm trying to drive at. And don't worry, I was born in Nigeria, so I have the singular honor to switch accents whenever I want to, if you know what I mean. I have also the LAFA, locally acquired foreign language, in case I want to switch there as well. Please permit me. It's Rena's speaks. All right, I'm getting carried away. Don't encourage egoism and machoism. What I mean is, we always say that, oh, as for men, they have ego. You know, as for men, they have ego. Then we are encouraging it. And even in Christianity, I hear ego. I have searched through the Bible. I have not seen ego. Maybe somebody can help me. Where we encourage egoism inside the Bible. I have not seen. It's not that it is not there. I have not seen. So if you've seen, please type it down there for me. And then we can check it out and see how it works. Now, don't forget, just like you're doing, keep the comments coming. You can always type in your question anytime. And then we'll address it as soon as we see it. So don't encourage the guy to feel that this is my right and this is what I expect the women to do. We've gone somewhere, we are given a helping hand with serving. We should not encourage our sons to be like, this is for females, and so I am not supposed to go there. We should not encourage them to feel that when I am angry, the world must stop. I'm upset, so it's like everybody must stop, and especially if you're a woman at that, it must stop. You know, that's a whole lot of it. We have tribes in Ghana, and I'm sure it's not just in Ghana. We have tribes in the African nations that encourage that a man is allowed to get away with anything as far as he is a man, but the women cannot do so. And I hope that we don't encourage that same thing with our sons. Theodora, welcome. Favor, welcome. Favor, you are not late. Welcome. We are just on our second point. Don't encourage the young men. You see, the Bible says, train a child in the way he should, and when he grows, he shall not depart from it. So, don't train the young man you have in your house, the small boy you have in your house, that it's okay to be angry, and everybody should accept that. That is just the nature of a man. It's okay to be upset and say anything you want to say, anyhow you want to say it. That is just the ego of a man. It's okay to always demand respect. That is just the ego of a man. None of those things is correct. And it can only take them so far. Let them understand that they must learn mutual respect. When they give respect, they get respect. When they give love, they give love. If they are able to decipher whatever it is well, they gain respect automatically without having to show the ego. If you train your young man, your boy, to use his ego all the time, he does not learn to use reasoning abilities. He does not learn to use his communicative skills. He's always wanting to lord over people, always wanting to control people. I'm a man. You see, just like most Christian men do, is like the Bible says you should submit, and the thing is a whole sentence, but that's the portion most of when an egoistic man, when he wants to dominate you, most people call it narcissism. They want to play you down, take you on a guilt trip so that they can lord it over you. But the same Bible that said that the woman must submit said that the man must love. And the man's commandment is greater. It says, love husbands, love your wives just like Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. What it means is that until you have loved and you are willing to give, the simultaneous response of submission is almost non-existent. You see, the Bible says we love him because he loved us first. So remember, egoism, machoism is not something you should encourage in your child, your male child. I am the man, I am the boss, I am the leader, to lord it over anybody. In this current day and age, he's not going to get anywhere with that anyway. So let's not encourage that. Bernard Bradshaw, welcome. King's Kid, welcome. Mami Ajwa Esuman, welcome. Now, the next point says, teach him to say please, thank you, and sorry. It is one of the hardest things for men, especially our African men, to say. Please pass me the bowl. Please give me the pen. Please, help me with words. It is a hurdle. He does not know why he must say please. He does not know why he should say thank you. He's the head, he's the boss. Why does he need to say thank you? But those we call them the 3 magic words. They can get you anywhere at any time. So let's encourage our young men, our children, to say thank you. Let's encourage our men to be pleasant. It's like there's this notion that a man must be ugly and fearful. So anytime we meet you, it's like you have squeezed your face. If I don't squeeze my face, they will not see I'm the man. So you don't know how to smile. Your son can't smile. Your son is always angry at everything. Your son is always showing us he's a man. But we like pleasant men. I believe that Jesus was pleasant, and that's why there were a lot of people following him, especially women. If you are not pleasant, they will not follow you. So we have trained our men to be ugly and fearful, such that even the handsome ones have also joined the ugly trade. Is it not amazing? Teach your son to be pleasant. And one of the best ways of being pleasant is to teach them please, thank you, and sorry. And it must start from the home. They must learn to say please, thank you, and sorry to their mother, to their father, to their sisters. We need pleasant men. We are tired of the baby face men, the squeezed faces men. The way the world is already going, plus your squeezed face, you are just creating extra burden. Have you seen? So we beg. We need pleasant men. Yes, Sewa says, especially saying sorry is so hard for them to say. No. Sorry should be one of the easy, because we are human and we make mistakes. Sorry should be one of the easiest things anybody should say. One of the easiest things. God is the only one who doesn't need to say sorry. All the rest of us, when you even got up this morning, you had to apologize to the air for even waking up to breathe. You were like, sorry, you thought I wasn't waking up today. Sorry, I'm here. Sorry is something that must be normal. What they see is what they do. So if their parents are not saying sorry, please and thank you, it is no wonder that the children are also not doing the same thing. Let's move on. Chivalry is a must. For every young man, every son, chivalry is a must. They must learn to open doors for women. They must learn to protect the women. They must learn that the woman is the weaker vessel. The woman is the softer side of me. The woman is the softer side of me. And so whenever I am around women, I must not necessarily like let them have their way, but help them whenever I can. Your son should not see you coming home after going to work and you've gone to, let's say you've gone to the market, you bought a few groceries and you brought them home. He should not just, mommy, good evening, and walk past you. Good evening, say. Then you eat some of the food. He must be the one who carries the heaviest things. He must be the one that comes for the groceries. He should ask you, mommy, should I get you some water? Daddy, should I get you some water? Daddy, do you need a hand in washing the car? Chivalry is just etiquette. At the table, when people meet your son, they must be awed. I met this young man and his mother today. He opened the door for me. It's a long time since I saw something like that. I was just crossing the street. This young man that lives in our area came, took my things and helped me to cross the street. It's a long time I saw something like that. I was standing on the bus and this young man got up and said I should have a seat. That is a must. Those things are a must. You know, so we must teach our sons chivalry. It makes them different. It makes them stand out, so to speak. Then this one, the next topic, the next point. Teach him to communicate properly. There are so many young men out there who are not communicating and are therefore diverting all they should communicate into drugs, into women, into all kinds of things, because we have taught the men that as a man, you must brave it out. Keep it inside. Don't talk. So any man who makes the attempt to show or to tell or to explain, it's like, what is that? And most of our young men don't know how to communicate. The best way they know how to communicate is to get angry, to shout, to bang doors, to just, I won't talk, I'm tired. And then they enter their room. Teach them proper communication. What is proper communication? Simply put, listening well, speaking well. Proper communication. Simply put, listening well, talking well. So if you listen well, it means you can talk back well. If you are not listening well, you don't get the message that is being put across to you, and therefore you cannot pass on what you are also trying to imply. We must learn to have conversations with our sons. And this is where I will implore the fathers. From a very young age, let your son be the closest to you. Let your children all be close to you. But when it comes to the boys, especially when they are growing up, do we know that their hormones begin to act up? When they are growing up, their hormones begin to act up, you know, and they want somewhere to put it. They want somebody to talk to. But most of the time, we leave it to the teachers. We leave it to their friends. We leave it to people who have no business telling our children stuff, to try and explain to them what they are going through. But the best person to communicate with them is the child's parents. Let's teach the children, the boys especially, it's okay to talk about it. You know, there's another part where I write, let him talk, but let's show him that it's okay to talk about it, but it depends on how you talk about it. So you're feeling something, your son is feeling something, the father should be the first place that the son feels comfortable going to. How will the boy learn to communicate? Is only if he sees his daddy communicating. And if daddy creates opportunities for him to communicate. I'm going to buy water. Let's go. Let's go and play basketball. Let's go and play football. Let's play PS5. You know, those things create opportunities for conversation and therefore encourage proper communication. I don't know if I'm making sense. Once you create those opportunities, the children normally take the opportunities and use them. But if daddy is always going to work, coming back. When he comes back, he's on his phone. He just eats, goes to bed, pays the bills, pays school fees. The boy child has no opportunity to air what he's going through. And most women, if left to bring up their sons, will bring up their sons like they know how best to, in love and in mama back. That's why we call some people mama back. The woman is only bringing up the boy how she knows, what she knows best, to pet him and to encourage him and to keep her sweet baby boy in her bosom. So if there's something else to be learned, it is very important that the boy learns it from his father. So the father must create opportunities for there to be communication. I don't know how many fathers we have on this platform today, but I would encourage you. It is never too late to start, no matter how old your child is. It is never too late to start. Create opportunities. Let's go for a walk. Let's talk about the Barcelona game. Things that would create. So I remember recently I asked my son, so are there some girls in your classroom that are your friends? He said yes. He mentioned their names and I asked him, so what is the reason why they are your friends? So this one learns a lot. This one gives good advice. And this one, when I'm going to fool, she'll tell me no. Is that what your mother brought you here for? Apparently, his father had already even asked those questions. So I told the father, this is what I was having. This conversation was what I was having with my son. He said, I've had that conversation. And then the father mentioned the names of these girls to me, which means that he was keeping up. He had already asked him, so it did not come as a surprise. And that is what we must encourage the fathers to do. So communication is key. Like I said, simply put, listening well to answer well, or to contribute well, or make your point well. That's simply what communication is. Now, the next point is, don't make excuses for his inconsistencies. We tend to do that a lot. Don't make excuses for his inconsistencies. You enter his room and his room is dirty and things are thrown about. Don't say he's a boy. It's normal for a boy's room to be dirty. No, it is not. It is not normal for a human being's room to be dirty. He's a human being before a boy. So don't say that it's normal. You see, what happens is he begins to think it is also normal that his room is dirty, and therefore it is normal that the woman picks up after him. It is not normal. Do not encourage his inconsistencies. All the girls in the house are getting up at 4 to sweep or whatever. He's a boy. He gets to get up at 8. No. It is not acceptable. Do not give excuses for his inconsistencies, but teach him that some of these things, they are just basic skills that he will need to live with. Not everybody will marry, my dear brothers and sisters. So in the event that your son does not marry and decides to be a bachelor all his life, because there are people like that. They are not fathers, they are not eunuchs, they just didn't get married. So in that event, does that mean their rooms will always be dirty? They will always have to buy food outside because they don't know how to fry common egg? Is that what it means? So as a parent, whether you are the father or the mother, don't give excuses for his inconsistencies. Some mother-in-laws go as far as your daughter-in-law is saying, I wish your son would help more. We don't do that. In our what do you call it? In our family, the men don't cook. The men don't look after children. I don't understand. Don't the men eat? And don't the men want to have children? Anything you create, you must be responsible for. Anything you create, you must be responsible for. If you create a family by getting married, you must be responsible for that family. If you create a baby by making a woman pregnant, you must be responsible for that baby and the mother. If you create a business, you must be responsible for that business. How many people would expect their boy children to create a business and then leave it for somebody to man? Let's be plain here. Your son creates a multi-million city company and then leaves it for somebody to manage. You'll be angry with him. So you knew you couldn't do the thing and you started. Yet we so comfortably accept that my son is married and yet he does not want to take his responsibility in the home. My son has gotten this lady pregnant and yet doesn't want to take, and it's normal. Those things we encourage. You see, so anything you create as a man, you must be willing to take responsibility for that thing that you have created. All right. The next point is, if he has sisters, he must be taught to protect them and treat them with love and care. What do I mean by this? If he has, thank you, Sewa. Cooking is a survival skill. Cooking is not a female or, I saw a post some time ago, very funny. He said that somebody had asked a question on one of these marriage groups. He says that who cooks in the home, and somebody had responded, the one who is hungry. So when you get home and you are hungry, you cook. When you get home and you are hungry, you cook. All right. He says, if he has sisters, he must be taught to protect them and treat them with love and care. Let me tell you a very basic way of doing that. A very basic way of making your son responsible to take care of his sisters, if he has sisters, or even if he has younger siblings, full stop. Anytime we go somewhere, I know where my daughter is, by the grace of God, at all times, and where he is as well. But I make it a point, immediately I see him, I'm like, where's your sister? I've done it so much that now, immediately I ask, where's your sister? Okay, she's sitting here. That is teaching responsibility. And it is also teaching, what do you call, care and protection. He must know where his siblings are at all times. He must know where his sisters are at all times. What is she doing? Who was she with? Have you made sure she's okay? Has she eaten? When you keep asking those questions, the child begins to realize, okay, my sister is my responsibility, and I must make sure that I'm taking good care of her and making sure that she's protected. I just saw this guy talking to this your sister. Who is that? Go and find out and make sure that he's not up to anything. Which of your sister's friend do you think is a good friend? Also help him. When you have to advise the sister. If he's older, for example, you can say that, okay, so this thing that your sister is saying, what do you think about it? Do you see? When you leave him in the house, you put him in charge. You are in charge. Tell the sisters there, anybody who has to do this or this, please ask your brother first. You are teaching him to protect them. Pray with them every night before they go to sleep. Make sure you've made sure this person is asleep. Make sure this person has eaten. Make sure all those things, they help. So if he has sisters, he must be taught to protect and treat them with love and care. No rough hitting. No, you see, whatever the ladies see is what they accept in future. Anytime the brothers keep hitting them, they think it's normal. So when they start going out with a man who is hitting them, they think it is normal. It is not. He must be taught to tell his sisters, you are looking pretty today. You are looking very nice today. Charlie, my sister is the prettiest lady in the world. Those things, they must be taught to boys for them to do it. And we must make demands on them for them to actually do it. The next point is he should partake in household chores. I think I've said that earlier on. He must partake in household chores, sweeping, cleaning, throwing out the trash, cleaning the cobwebs, cooking, scrubbing. He must take part. The survival skills that every human being needs on this planet, he must take part. Don't do, as for me, I'm an Ewe. As for me, I'm a Northerner. I'm an Ashanti. I'm Fanti. I'm from the royal clan in Kenya. Therefore, me, I cannot do any of those things. If we remember, I don't know how many of us have watched Eddie Murphy's film Coming to America, where he leaves his home and goes to America to look for a woman. And he goes as a prince. But when he gets to America, he decides to become a commoner and does all manner of jobs. And as we can see in the end, it only paid off. He didn't die, he didn't lose his kinship, nothing happened to him. Rather, he got the perfect woman for himself. We must encourage the boys to partake in the household chores. Do not discourage them. Don't say if he does it, he will become a woman. No, he will not. He will become a human being. And you'll be able, you see, our sons get into all kinds of trouble because very basic things they cannot do. They require women to boil egg. They require women to boil water. They require women to wash. They cannot do very basic things for themselves. And that is why they pick any kind of woman. You are surprised at the woman your son brought, but You have not taught him to do things for himself. So all he's looking for is somebody who just take off the burden of all these chores that he was never taught to do. But if we teach our young males and sons to do some of these things, because they can do it for themselves, they are not in a hurry to just go for any kind of person at all. Because it will not even be based on, I'm looking for a maid-like wife, but I'm looking for an intellectual person who can help me to progress in life. Now, another thing that we must allow the boys to have is space. Men generally like space. They like space when they need to think. They like space. Sometimes they just like space. And we must learn to give our young sons space. Sometimes they want to be in their rooms alone. Let's leave them there. Sometimes they don't feel like talking to anybody. Let's just leave them there. It's part of the growing up process. That's just how men function. I watched a little clip on Facebook again, and the guy was talking. I'm sure a lot of us have seen it. And the guy was talking about a nothing box. He said that men have a nothing box, and that nothing box, there's nothing inside. So when you ask the man, what are you thinking, and he says nothing, the truth is that he's not thinking about anything. You know, he's really not thinking about anything. But women were always probing, are you sure you're not thinking about it? Is it about last week, last night, and what happened and all that? But they really don't have anything that they are thinking about. So once a while, we must leave them alone and give them space. They need to think. They are the breadwinners. They are going to be the people that look after all these girls, all these women, the world. They are supposed to be leaders. So they have a lot to think about. Yes, even your 2-year-old has a lot to think about. So let him think and give him space. It's very important. Give him responsibilities and make room for him to account for them. I said it briefly earlier on. You give him responsibilities and he must account for them. You are leaving the house for 30 minutes and you leave him in charge. When you come back, don't just say, oh, thank you for looking after them. No. You must sit down with him and ask him, so while I was gone, what happened? Did you people eat? What did you people eat? What made you think about eating that? Did you make sure this person's diaper was changed? Were you able to change it? Give him room to express what he did so that you can applaud him for the ones he did well and then help him out with the ones that he was unable to do. So make sure you have given him responsibilities. Your job is to remind me every month to top up the prepaid card. Your job is to make sure your sisters and brothers have done their homework. So every time you finish your homework, you must make sure that they have done theirs. And then give him room to account for those responsibilities you have given to him. It's building him up as a leader. It's making him responsible enough for everything that he's going to do in future. Now, this is another thing that we must teach the men. Teach him to be soft with ladies when needed. And also to be tough with them when needed. We must teach both ways. There are times when he must be soft with the women, and there are times when he must be tough with the women. And that starts from his sisters, not his mother. No. His mother is his parents. He can't go there. His sisters, if he has any. Or cousins, if he has any. There are times when women need to be what is the word? To be pet is the word. There are times when women need encouragement and all that. So he must be taught that when the woman needs help, when she needs a shoulder to cry on, when she needs somebody to talk to, when she needs encouragement, he should be there to support her. Sometimes women just want to talk. He must be taught that women like to talk, and your job as a man is to want to listen. Not say, you people, you talk too much. Women, you like that too much. You like shoes too much. You like this too much. Everything, you're brushing it off. No. He must be taught to accept that of women. And then he must also be taught to accept that sometimes it is okay to be tough with the women. When a woman is making unnecessary demands, you should be able to say, no, you can't have that. When a woman is taking you on a guilt trip, he should be able to say, no, I do not accept this and I will not encourage it. So both ways must be taught. Softness and toughness. Softness and toughness. There must be a balance in the two. And the boy child must be able to balance it well. All right. Let him mingle and make friends with the right group. He's allowed to make friends, but he must be mingling with the right people. How would you know he's mingling with the right people? Ask him questions about his friends. Talk to them if you must. Encourage him to bring them home if he can. And then make your assessment. As you make your assessment, you can decide which are good and which are not. And you can sit down with him and explain to him why this particular friend cannot be his friend and why this particular friend is good to keep as a friend. All right, let's go on. Now, I said this earlier and I want to reiterate it. Make sure he has a mentor and that he respects his father and respectable male figures in his life. This is very, very important. Every young man, every male child needs a male figure in his life. Let me repeat this. Every young man, every male child needs a male figure in his life. In the event that the father is dead or is a deadbeat dad, which means he's not in the child's life, one must find of a necessity a male figure for that child to be able to be mentored into manhood. It could be a brother, it could be a pastor, it could be your boss, it could be your cousin who is worth following, who is worth mentoring your child. That the young man must have a mentor who he sees excelling, who he sees growing, who he sees maturing, who he can learn good things from, who is an embodiment of everything that you would want your son to be. It is very important. Sometimes, in fact, most of the time, even when the father is a very responsible, present a male figure, the son will still need somebody to there are a lot of things we don't tell our parents. I don't know if I'm the only one. There are so many things we never told our parents. We prefer to tell other older people or our friends. So sometimes, even when you are a parent, your children still need mentors. The youth pastor, your friend who you can trust, and you must allow them to be mentored by other people, especially the young men. You must train him to respect the male figures in his life. You must train him to reverence the male figures in his life, especially the ones that would have a positive impact on him. He must be made to know that you cannot disrespect this person. You cannot say whatever you want to this person. You cannot behave anyhow when it comes to this particular person. The next point is buy him good moral books to read. Most men generally don't like reading, but like I said, we are not encouraging most men issues. They must read. Elon Musk, what's the name? Elon Musk? Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, all these people, all these men that are the richest men in the world and everything, one of their habits, Barack Obama, J.J. Rollins of blessed memory, one of the things they said they used to do was read. Excuse me. They loved to read. They love to read. So we must encourage our sons to read. And you must make sure you are getting him books that will, get strategically. Get books that can answer questions that you cannot answer. I will advise that you ask about the book, take a review of the book, or read the book yourself even before you give it to him. And test the things that are in the book that he has read and see if it is making difference in his life. So we must deliberately buy books that our sons read and they are encouraged to become better versions of themselves. Teach him to be a leader without the need to be domineering. Most men think that by being domineering, that is when they are being leaders. Hey, put it down. Stop it. Is that where you are supposed to put it? What is that? Like I said, baby face. Then they have squeezed their face and they are saying, no. You can be a leader without being domineering. How do you do that? I said it earlier. You teach him dialogue. You teach him communication. You teach him to listen and to absorb what somebody is saying. And as he absorbs, he weighs it. The next point is teaching him how to be a leader. Teach him to listen, assess, and make a decision. So how do you teach him to be a leader? Listen, assess, and make a decision. Listen, assess, and make a decision. Listen, assess, and make a decision. Good leaders listen, they assess what they have heard, then they make a decision based on that. There are so many leaders. John C. Maxwell is one of the greatest leadership coaches and mentors, and you can buy books for your son to read about John C. Maxwell. You can give him leadership opportunities and correct them as he goes along, and he can become a very powerful leader without thinking that he must sit on somebody to become the leader that he must become. Wow, Favor says, I almost chose a wrong mentor for my son. Do I choose for him or allow him to do that himself? I think both ways work, Favor. Both ways work. You are the mother, and the truth is, you know what is best for your son. If his father is very present, the two of you can decide that this is the person we want him to. You see, now internet has made it so easy for us to do things that we normally would not have been able to do. If, for example, you think that your pastor is the best mentor for your son, you must always encourage him to listen to your pastor's messages. You must encourage him when you go to church and your pastor is around. Go and say hello to your pastor. Go and say hello to the pastor. Go and help him with his books. Go and help him carry his this. Go and clean his car for him. Go and do this. As you are doing that, you are putting them closer. And as he goes on in life, he will also develop a liking for somebody that he thinks is a good mentor for him. All you need to do is assess and realize that that person is correct. Fine. And then you move on and leave him alone. And you're like, so how is this thing going? How is this person responding? Blah, blah, blah. Then you continue from there. If the person is also not good to be a mentor, you say, no, this is the reason why this person cannot be your mentor at this time. Mentoring is one of the most lacking things we have in the generation now. So you would encourage your son to get a mentor. Get him one. And if he has one, make an assessment. You can get him one and he can also get one and flow from there. Let him be a boy. Let me sit before I talk about this one. Let him be a boy. We tend to want, especially the mothers. Some mothers make it look like if the children are with their father can't take care of the children. Hey, it is his child though. He will not kill the child. I mean, of course, it's different from those fathers who are incapable of, proven incompetent or incapable of looking after their children. That's a totally different thing. But a father and his son, if my husband decides to take my son out, I don't call to find out what they are doing, where they are going. I don't care. It's father-son time and they deserve it. Let him be a boy. Let him run around. He will scratch his knee, not break his leg. Scratch his knee, it's normal. He will fall down, it's normal. Let him be a boy. Stop shielding him so much that he cannot stand up as the man he's supposed to be the leader, to be the forerunner, to be the encourager. He doesn't know how to do it because all he has been done is pet his whole life. He doesn't know how to tie his own shoelace. He cannot bath. He cannot cook. He cannot do anything for himself. Everything is being done for himself. You are not training a boy. You are not training a boy. And that is why if you realize in the world these days, women are tougher than men. We have trained the women to be tougher because we expect that you're a girl. You should know how to do this. You should know how to multitask. You should know how to do this. And we have not done that for the boys. So the women now seem to be stronger than the boys. And that is exactly what the problem is. If he wants harder discipline, the guys must have harder discipline. Because they are the leaders. So they must be disciplined some more. If they want to rough play, as far as it's within a certain limit, let them rough play. Let him climb the tree. Let him jump on the trampoline. Let him ride the bicycle. Let him go on skates. Allow him to play football. I'm not talking of PS5 football. I mean physical football. I mean when it is safe to do so. Let him do so. You know. Let's not train boys that are too soft and cannot they cannot stand any small hard thing, then they melt. They can't contain it. Small hard thing, then they shy away. All right. I think I saw Cindy said, LP, please, any remedy for my 8-year-old son who is always frowning? Yes, there's a remedy. If he's called Kwejo, smile. Every time you meet him, Kwejo, smile. Kwejo, smile. His punishment should be smiling. That's such a person we don't beat, we don't do anything. Just Kwejo, since today you did not read your book, your punishment is smiling. Smile. Sit in front of the mirror and smile. 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 As far as you've discovered that there's nothing really wrong with him and it is just a habit, then let his punishment be smiling. Yes, the boys need harder discipline. Teach him to read the Bible and pray. Teach him to read the Bible and pray. Sometimes let him be the one that leads prayer. Let him be the one that leads Bible study. Do a timetable and put him on it. He's the preacher for today. He's the leader for today. Teach him to seek God early, so that his morals and his direction is set in stone before he grows up. Take them to church. Don't give them tabs when church is going on. Don't give them your phone when church is going on. Let them listen and absorb. When you go home, ask them, so what did the pastor say? What did you hear that touched you? People will take their children to church. They give them tabs. They won't sit down. They'll run around. Let them run around. It's better for them to run around than to have a tab in church. All right. He should answer the door when the bell rings. If somebody knocks at the door and you want to send somebody, it should not be the female. It should be the male if you have a male in your house. He should answer the door. He should answer the door. He's the male. If something is coming, he's the one who can how do I say? He's the one who can fight it. He's the one who can stand up to it. It's a very simple thing, but it looks like a very simple thing, but it is not. LP, Nanesi, welcome. It's not a simple thing. Let him answer the door. Let him see that answering the door is his. Opening the gate is his. Washing car is his. Those things. So that he develops a certain nature by the time he's a young man, and he grows up with it into adulthood. Now, the last thing I want to say is, teach him that it's okay to express his emotions, but he must do it well. We must teach them that it's okay to express how you feel. If you are angry, it's okay to express anger. It's okay to express happiness. It's okay to express sadness, but just how you do it. If you are happy, it must not be overly causing trouble because you're happy. You know, some people, when they are happy, they have to destroy something for us to know they're happy. Even during elections, you see it. When people are happy, then they'll be breaking doors, breaking cars because they are happy. That is not the kind of happy we are looking for. Or when you are upset, everybody must know that you are upset. You don't talk to every single person in the house because you are upset. No, it is wrong. We must teach them that emotions are okay. God put emotions in both male and female, but there's a way to go about it. There's a way to express it. There's the way to let people know that this is how I'm feeling. And if we teach them proper communication, like we talked about at the beginning, you'll see that it is very easy for them to express their feelings without selfishness is the word I'm looking for. One of the last things I want to mention today is we have taught our sons to be selfish, that they are the only important people. They are the ones who matter. They are the ones who everything must be at their beck and call. They don't consider other people's feelings. They don't consider what other people are doing. It's like, this is what I want. This is how I feel now, and that's all that matters. But we must teach our sons to understand that. They are in a world, and everybody matters, including themselves. I'm sure that like I said last week, this is not a blueprint or a strict, it's like these are the dynamites. Once they are done, then your son will be different. No. But these are stepping stones, I believe, very basic stepping stones on which we can build foundations, and we can encourage to let our children grow and become better men and better women. I believe that in the last 2 weeks, we have learned how to make our children better, male or female. And as we apply these little wisdom nuggets that God gives us, we see a change. Even you will be shocked at some of the things that happen. Change is gradual, remember. but change is definitely happening. So remember to always make sure that your child stands out, your girl stands out, your boy stands out, and that wherever they go, they are adaptable because of the way you have brought them up. And people always love to have them around because there is a difference in them. There's something that's unique about them. And it is because you have taught them as a mother, you have taught them as a father to be different in everything that they do. God bless you. And I believe that I've been able to answer every question. I believe I've been able to, by the grace of God, answer everything that we should have. And I want to say a very big thank you one more time for coming and joining Reina Speaks this Thursday. I'm always elated to see you and that you are here, always humbled that you are always with us. God bless you. May you have a beautiful weekend. And remember, let your children stand out. Let your children be different. God bless you. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Love you all. Bye.